2025, the world economy maintained the same growth rates as in the previous years. The pace of international trade accelerated. Once again, the growth rates of the global economies were uneven. The slight growth reported in most industrialized countries contrasted with a strong expansion in emerging areas. In Asia, China and India improved their performances, although marginally, compared with a year earlier. Japan overcame the phase of stagnation. Looking at the Western economies, GDP in the United States increased, but at a slower pace than in 2024. The United Kingdom consolidated its moderate recovery. The Eurozone showed a growth slightly higher than that of last year. France and Spain saw their growth rates slow down. However, once again, Spain achieved the best outcome among the economies in the Eurozone. Italy remained weak. Only Germany had a worse performance, but the result should be welcomed, as it marks a reversal of the trend in the German economy. In 2025, the world machine tool output dropped to 75.3 billion euros. Once again, Asia emerged as the leading area with regard to contribution to the sector's output, followed by Europe. The Americas remained far behind. Consumption decreased to just over 72 billion euros. The outcome was due to the general reduction in worldwide demand. The downturn was heavier in the Americas than in Asia and Europe. The decline in international trade was more contained compared with that recorded in the previous year. In 2025, the world ranking of machine tool manufacturing countries remained unchanged. At the top was China, followed, at a distance that can no longer be bridged, by Germany, Japan, the United States, and Italy. Even in the ranking of the major exporting countries, the Land of the Dragon conquered the top spot, followed by Germany, Japan, Italy, and the United States. Considered on the whole, that is, by adding up the values of machine tools, robots, and automation systems, the Italian output of the sector almost touched the amount of 6.4 billion euros in 2025. If, in addition to the production of machines, we also consider the manufacturing of parts, tools, numerical controls, and services to machines, the economic value of the sector stood at a little more than 9 billion euros. Consumption recorded a strong growth, but the upturn was also due to the fact that it is compared with the figure of last year, which had been very low. Italian manufacturers benefited most from the recovery in domestic demand, as proven by the upswing in domestic deliveries. The market share covered by foreign supply went down by over 2 points. The result was decidedly different with regard to exports, which were affected by the situation of geopolitical uncertainty that characterized 2025. The balance of trade dropped. In 2025, Italian exports of machine tools alone, that is excluding robots and automation systems, fell heavily. The performance of sales abroad was down throughout the year. The most important export market for Italian production was once again the United States, followed by Germany, France, Poland, and Turkey. Italian export shares decreased in many of the major markets. A 39.9% share of Italian exports was destined for European Union countries. Sales to North America covered 23.1%. In Asia, deliveries absorbed 17.7% of total exports. Exports to non-EU Europe, stable in fourth place in the ranking of destination areas, accounted for 11.4%. An increase was reported in the Italian machine tool sales to South America, which acquired 3.6% of total exports. The weight of exports to Africa also grew, attaining 3%. In 2025, the general situation of instability weighed upon the export performance of the Italian industry in the sector, which, however, was able to capitalize on the recovery of domestic demand. As a result, production figures remained positive, highlighting a moderate increase compared with the previous year. The intense tensions caused by ongoing conflicts, the crisis in the Strait of Hormuz, and the outcome of the U.S. elections make 2026 an extremely uncertain year for Italian companies operating in foreign markets. The hope is that at least the domestic market, also thanks to the hyper-depreciation measure, will boost the year's results, which are currently expected to show a slight increase.